the female CEO returned to her hometown. She came specifically to visit the man who once funded her college education. But to her shock, the once strong and healthy man was now blind and limping. Seeing him like this, her heart trembled. But when the man didn't recognize her, she immediately said her old name. Hearing that, the man finally realized she was his foster daughter. She then asked her assistant to bring hot water and prepared to wipe his face. But the man refused. Without hesitation, she grabbed the towel and firmly said, as his foster daughter, it was her duty to care for him. The man smiled warmly in response. After wiping his face, the CEO couldn't hold back her questions. She gently asked why he had suddenly gone blind and lame. The man's eyes flickered and he quickly changed the subject. He said he had been sponsoring many children over the years and promised to bring them to meet her someday. But her confusion deepened. She asked why none of those children had come back to care for him. Given all he had done for them, he brushed it off, saying they were too busy with their studies. Sensing something was wrong, she secretly asked her assistant to investigate. It turned out, the man had been working hard on construction sites. Every time he got paid, he immediately called the kids he sponsored to pick up their living expenses. One of them once said he needed to pay for extra tutoring, a large amount of money. Without hesitation, the man agreed, telling them to focus on studying and leave everything else to him. But then an accident happened. A steel bar crushed his thigh at the construction site. In the hospital, the doctor said the surgery would cost $30,000. Hearing this, one of the children changed his expression. The man thought he was worried about him, so he tried to comfort him and asked him to help him stand. But the child shoved his hand away, demanding to know if the tutoring money was ready. When the man said he'd try to raise it, the child mocked him, saying he was useless now and couldn't earn a cent. The man was stunned. Another child suggested he must have savings and demanded he hand them over. When he found out the man had no money, he began searching his pockets. Luckily, a nurse arrived in time and kicked them out. But as they walked out, they ran into the man's co-workers. When the children learned the co-workers had raised $30,000 for the surgery, one of them said he'd deliver the money to the man. The co-workers trusted him and handed it over. But the man never received treatment in time and was left permanently disabled. A few days later, just as the man returned home, another sponsored child showed up with his mother. When the mother found out he couldn't give them money, she blamed him for ruining her son's future. She then started taking valuables from the house, and the man couldn't fight back. Just then, another foster daughter appeared. She scolded the mother and son and kicked them out. Afterward, she gently asked how the man was doing. He was deeply moved by her care. But at that moment, a phone call suddenly came in.